Hi guys, so today I'm going to be playing Perceptions of the Dead. It's free on Steam, and it looks like one of those games where you can like choose, like it's a story, and I think it's going to come up with like options. I was looking at the little previews on Steam, so it looks pretty interesting. So let's click play. Perceptions of the Dead. Pick a story. This thing right here though is super creepy. Like the head, the skull, super creepy. Okay, do I want to do the Phantom Ice Cream Truck, Jill Count? Is Perceptions of the Dead, is that its own story? Let's do the Ice Cream Truck. Phantom of the Ice Cream Truck. Play. The Phantom Ice Cream Truck. Follow denizen of the border between life and death as he answers call to rescue a missing child.
A glance around reveals an empty street, and I take a moment of solitude to adjust my layers. It does little to stave off the biting wind.
If I just push it once, will it... Oh, okay.
I clench and unclench my fingers with a deep-rooted ire. I am not being paid well enough for this shit.
I don't get paid enough for that either.
Then again, I never am. This was the second night since I had started this assignment. The couple had hired me to bring back their son. They hadn't been so comfortable with the way the official investigation was turning up so very little, and how much the media had begun to spin the tale into a ghost story. The Phantom Ice Cream Truck.
Ooh. What a mouthful. That's not really a mouthful.
A messy case, too.
Well, considering all the melted ice cream is probably pretty messy.
The police's initial involvement had been straightforward. The first child had fell off the map like the earth had swallowed him whole. Right off the street, according to witnesses. No one saw a thing. No reliable witness heard anything either. No unfamiliar cars or people. No unfamiliar sounds. One moment he was in front of his parents' home, the next he was gone.
How do you not see a kid
Strange, but there could be plenty explanations for such an incident. Very mundane.
get taken? Or notice anything out of the ordinary? Everyone was just that busy?
Such explanations became more unlikely when every child in the neighborhood reported hearing ice cream truck music right around the time of the disappearance. Of course, without a single adult able to corroborate this mysterious music, the children's testimony was the quickest.
Okay, if you have every kid in the neighborhood saying they heard ice cream truck music and there was no ice cream truck, I would be like, okay, something's going on. There's a haunted ice cream truck going around just snatching up kids. Yes,
Still
very creepy.
Right? And oh so mysterious. Ooh. Even more so when it happened again. Then a third time. It was the third parents who hired me.
It took 3 kids to get kidnapped for someone to hire this dude to be like, hey.
I never really figured out how my clients find me. It's not like I list my number anywhere or advertise. But somehow word of mouth leads to my phone ringing, and a familiar phrase to indicate it's for business. Ya, Fatan. I seek a pact with that which should not be. I know, it's a little trippy. It's from a book I had read back in college.
I don't want to read that book.
A friend came up with the joke as his invocation of my aid. He must have used it dozens of times when we were younger, typically for a ride when he had been out drinking. I had become so used to it that when I first answered the phone and heard an unfamiliar voice say the phrase, I just kind of went with it. The next time it was the same. And then it became common. Where are you?
I don't know.
We live in Rosterfield, Maine. I know it's a long way from where I heard about you, but can you help us?
Will you pay the price?
We will pay anything if you can bring back our son.
I would hope so. Wanting to come to some stranger and be like, yo, can you help us find our kid? Will you pay the price? That's why I'm coming to you. If I wouldn't want to pay, I'd be like, oh, don't worry about it. I got this.
The deal struck. And with that, I called in sick to work. Told them I had the flu and would need a few days off. I was given shit about not getting my flu shot, but they didn't hassle me too much. That evening, I was on a plane.
Yeah, boss, I'm sick. Can't come in for like 4 days. Also, don't look at any of my social media. Don't track my phone. Don't do anything. Just don't even look at my doctor's records for the flu shot. Okay, bye. Click. Okay, so far I like it. It's pretty interesting.
I arrived at the house at midnight.
Did it say that twice, or am I just going crazy?
I did not knock. After all, it was important to keep up appearances. The window to the left was latched, but the right slid up easily. I found the boys' room first and gave it a once-over. Legos, Ben 10 toys, and Star Wars paraphernalia littered the floors and walls. A quick once-over revealed nothing useful, though. I sat on the foot of the bed for almost 10 minutes before one of them stirred.
I'm sorry. Why would you just come into my house? I didn't...
Oh my god!
Those are creepy images.
Normal reaction. I turn around slowly. I return for what has been lost. From you, I need 2 items. I need a photo and an article of clothing. Something thick with its smell. The woman stands up slowly, edging against the wall, then runs to the child's room. She returns with a dirty soccer jersey and a copy of a Lost flyer. The father remains paralyzed, his eyes locked with mine. Though likely, he is just staring into the shadow beneath my hood, hoping to see something there, something human. Likely questioning his decision to hire me.
Maybe it wasn't a good idea to hire this strange man who has a shadow for a face and just decides to come on into my bedroom, sit on my bed, make my wife freak out and be like, hey, leave the room, come back, give me your son's stuff.
Can you really find him?
No.
I take a long smell of the shirt, then discard it. I take a look at the photo. This time, I spend a lot longer examining it.
I would not smell a
I
sweaty
wasn't
jersey.
really some bloodhound. I couldn't track my scent, but the photo helped a lot. Now I knew what he looked like. Yes. She begins to breathe heavily, and then cries. The husband just continues to stare aghast into the hood of my cloak. With that, I begin to walk out.
Okay, bye.
Behind me, I hear the father speak.
Oh, did we just send after our son?
Hopefully his savior.
The first night had been uneventful. I had turned over the results of the police investigation and found myself wanting. Wanting what? Oh, anything resembling a lead. Did these people get paid to do this shit? I certainly didn't buy the superstitious who were already spreading stories about the ghostly ice cream truck. If a ghost were going to come back, it's very unlikely they would be scooting around in an ice cream truck.
Not really.
Talking to children had been painfully hard. My one fortune was that my attire left me more reminiscent of a Slender Man than a child molester. So the times I was chased away from children I tried to interview were not mistaken for solicitation. I shuddered violently at the thought. The children provided my first real clue.
Good.
They described a tune. One that sounded like the type and consistency that an ice cream truck might have. Not that ice cream trucks were common these days. I was a little surprised these kids even knew what one was.
How do you not know what an ice cream truck sounds like?
Some were even able to hum and whistle the tune for me. I wasn't entirely sure how to run with this info. The relevance of a single song really didn't occur to me. A small piece of the rest of the day was spent feeding myself and taking a nap as inconspicuously as possible. I had no intention of allowing anyone to see me be anything other than the creepy supernatural and paranormal investigator. It's how I've always done things. You'd be surprised how quickly you can build a rep with the right look and behavior. After the nap, it was back to beating the streets. And my current predicament. It was friggin' cold.
It's so gosh darn cold out here.
In the
Oh, this
near
ice cream.
distance, I watched a quartet of kids, roughly 14 or so, playing a ragged game of football. They seemed to be having a great time, but even as far away as I am, their cheers and jeers rattle my nerves.
Why?
For a moment, I wish they would be quiet. As though hearing my thoughts mid-run, they stop, on cue. They stand up straight and begin to draw heavy, ragged breaths. A girl hugs the football to her chest as her eyes grow ever wider. I test reality for a moment. I wish I had a few thousand bitcoins. It occurs to me that I should have asked for something more easily checked. At the same time, it occurs to me that I didn't silence those kids.
What
I
did?
bite my tongue, close my eyes, and bury the nail of my thumb into the palm of my hand. I dig in as hard as I can, drawing blood as my vision blares with the colors behind my eyelids. And then, I hear it.
I dig in as hard as I can, drawing blood as my vision blares with colors behind my eyelids. So, is something like knocked? What if something knocked out or like blacked out the adults, and that's how it's getting
A
away?
song playing on a pair of shitty speakers. The kind you'd hear on top of an old-timey ice cream truck. My eyes flick open as I scan the horizon.
And he just...
The truck passes me, inches from clipping my shoulder, and heading straight towards the kids. No, you fucking don't!
That's right!
No, you... I break into a run, and despite the trivial speed of the truck, barely manage to keep up. As the truck closes on the kids, it slows to a stop, and I finally begin to close the gap.
On home, you kids. It's getting dark. This town isn't safe after dark.
No, it's not.
Getting dark? What is he talking about? The sun set hours ago.
Mm-mm.
No sooner had the words crossed my mind when it all went black.
Oh no.
For a few moments, I thought I had been knocked unconscious. Then my eyes began to adjust. I make out the faintest impression of light.
Oh no. Oh no. This isn't good. You kids better get in. I'll get you home safe.
No, you won't. No, you
I
won't.
watch helplessly moving through the dark like it was molasses. Shadows pass before the light as he ushers them into the truck.
Are you serious? Did these parents not teach their kids not to get into trucks with strange people? Especially after all those occurrences?
The truck lights blare into brilliance, and I hear the motor roar as the car begins to move forward at a pace more in keeping with a motor vehicle. I would lose it even if I were still able to move. No! No! I let out a choked cry after them. Stop! Stop! Then I stop. The second cry had no depth to its volume. While the no had echoed normally down the empty street, the scream of stop had sounded like I screamed into the middle of a very crowded room. Slowly I reach behind me, laying hands on one of my pieces of emergency equipment. The kind of stuff you don't use when you want people to think you're some manner of elder or. I slowly bring it around, just as I feel the breath on my neck.
I don't want a breath on my neck.
With a whip, I crack the flare. Seeing it burn red hot in my clenched eyes, and I hear the cacophony of screams. I open them. Thousands of twisted, naked heaps of malformed, demi-human flesh writhe in the agony of the fight. And as I raise it above my head, the flare burns brighter. The darkness washes away.
Good.
I wheel around in
my
place,
God.
but find myself alone back in the street.
That's horrible.
In the middle of the day. I drop the flare and try futilely to snuff it out with my boot. My little display has drawn an audience, and not so far down the street, I see my clients. Oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
So it's ghosts.
I merely nod slowly.
But you can still get him back?
I nod again.
But it's been over a week since you started searching. He hasn't eaten anything.
You don't know that. The ice cream man could be, like, fattening up for some ice cream or something. As horrible as that
I
is.
still couldn't wrap my mind around how much time had passed in the darkness.
Really? It's been, like, a week since he's been in the darkness?
He will be fine. Time does not pass normally where he is.
I hope not.
You know where he is?
No.
I nod. I'm going there tonight to get him back.
No, I'm not. I'm going home. Sorry, your boy's lost.
They start crying. I'm not really sure what to do at this point, so I stand there, awkwardly, hoping that my layers give me more of the appearance of stoicism than an awkward pain. Apparently it works.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome. It's fine.
Thank you so much.
Please.
Thank you.
I leave the building as
Fine.
they both chant thank you, like it was some kind of prayer.
Oh.
It's not the first time I'd heard that prayer. It's not the first time I had done this. I'm ready this time as night falls. I withdraw a small shot and without hesitation jam it into my arm. Viper venom. I had a friend back home who kept one as a pet. Weird kid. Milks the things. Sells the venom, mostly to medical facilities. Occasionally he sells it to me.
Okay, not gonna lie, when he said shot, I thought he meant live like whiskey or something to be like, okay, let's go, let's take all the night, I got this. But no, a shot to like, nope. Ugh. Venom? Are you crazy?
My knees nearly buckle as the burning begins to creep through my arm.
No.
I stifle a scream.
Just let
Then I
it.
hear it, and everything clicks. I let out a long sigh and stand up, adjusting my layers.
Oh.
I turn my eyes to fall upon the approaching truck. My hand goes behind my back and my fingers close. I train the gun on the truck and unload a triad of shots into the ghost truck's engine. The engine sputters, the grating burns, melting away, and the music screams in protest.
What do you think you're doing?
Stopping you, because you're a crazy ass ice cream man trying to take kids.
An escapee from an Andy Warhol painting stutters, stepping awkwardly from the vehicle.
Did y'all see that? His eyes just. Did y'all see that? Whew.
It's getting dark. I have to protect the
No,
children.
you don't. You're fucking crazy.
Only one thing may not exist. You and that which you fear must cease to be.
Yeah.
But the children...
What's the chanting?
The darkness falls upon me. With such force, I stagger. I lose my grip and the gun disappears, searing into the shifting mass of flesh. My hand goes behind my back, and my grip closes around a rough-hewn blade, forged of obsidian and steel. And as I carve outwards, I hear the screams of all the lost children, unwilling to accept their fate, and swallowed by the darkness. Flesh tatters as I carve, burning away like paper, until finally, I lay into the man.
No, you don't understand. I was just trying to help.
I bury the blade into his throat. The cacophony resounds as the children who lost themselves in the darkness writhe, and I go about my work of freeing them all, just as I had freed this man.
My baby. Oh, my baby. It's okay. Everyone's okay.
No, not everyone. They're all dead. Everyone. Everyone died.
7 kids lost here. And I got back all of them. I wonder how many I actually freed.
Oh.
How many had he trapped in his nightmare? And what the hell was he so afraid of in that darkness? And most importantly, why did he ultimately abandon them to it?
I don't know how to thank you. After a week of not hearing from you, I'd feared for the worst. A month after that, and I'd come to accept that it was over. I was ready to move on.
His eyes fall to his wife, still babying the boy, who won't stop staring off into the distance.
She had faith, though. She said that you were an angel, or maybe a demon. She didn't care. She believed in you. Some nights after she had said her Hail Marys, I would see her put her hands together, and I would hear her. She prayed to you.
I was almost flattered, but to tell the truth, the idea of someone believing so much in me, in praying to me, it was terrifying.
I want you to know,
gosh.
I'm willing to pay more than whatever your normal fee is. We've been living with a tight belt since I called you, and I won't lie and say I don't do well for myself. I have more than enough saved up to pay you anything we could ask.
Oh.
Or, if there's something else you want, there's nothing I can offer you that means more to me than my son.
I let out a long sigh. I reach up to my hood and pull it back. Both of them gasp, stepping back and then cocking eyebrows in unison, having perhaps expected something more. After having been gone for 2 months, I could really use a job.
Is that it? That was so good. That was such a good little story. Alright. Well guys, that's gonna be it. Actually, I'm kind of happy with how this was. I really thought it was gonna be more like a actually this particular one with the ice cream truck. I just like having the story. It was really cool. And it was nice how it was a short story, but they like progressed it, like, you know, over a week you've been here, nothing's gone on. A month, we still haven't heard anything, what's going on. And they made it feel like a long story in a short amount of time. So that was really cool. And I really love the graphics. I love, like, the art style is really cool. And it's really creepy. Like, the whole time I was, like, on edge. So it was really creepy, but I'm like, it's cool. It kept me interested. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this. I'm definitely going to be doing the, what's the other one? The Jill count, and then Perceptions of the Dead. I'll definitely be doing those. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, this was really cool. I really enjoyed this. So, hopefully everything's working out. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye!